Is it still spinning?
Oh, it's good. You're live.
Oh, hey. Well, I gotta figure this GoPro thing out. It was working, and then all of a sudden we look down, and I'm wearing a hat still. I've got a phone in my hand, wearing different pants. Anyways, welcome to Side Dish. It's me, Doug Bookie, as always. Amy's behind the camera, and we're gonna make focaccia bread tonight. So while we're waiting for a couple of things, I gotta do something. So don't mind what I'm doing. Look at my face, not with my hands.
Do you want me to move the camera up so they can't see?
Sure.
Magic.
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, we're not fooling anybody here, right, folks? We're doing. This is what we're doing. So obviously, I'm doing swap outs, but we're going to show you the whole process. Now, this is a recipe from the lovable Claire Saffitz from formerly BA, and now she has her own show called Dessert Person, based on her book Dessert Person, which is pretty great. I've read through. I bought it today, and I've read through a little bit of it, but it's really good. It's a digital format as well. It's really good. It's got really high quality pictures, so you should check it out. She just had a video on this on her YouTube channel, but I thought, I've never made focaccia bread, and I want to because it looks so good. So I thought we could do it together.
And we're having big salad for dinner.
Yeah, so we're gonna have big salad. And
salad's usually a side, but when big salad's the main, what's a side?
so we decided to do
Bread.
bread because I like bread and salad and things like that. So what I got going on here is it's going to be, this is just we're just proofing the yeast right now. It is hot as hell in this house tonight. So if I sweat, I'm sorry. I hope everybody had a good week. Sorry for the technical problems last week. We should have learned from last week. Everything was fine. And then all of a sudden when we went live, it was just like going live. So that's why we're a few minutes late. So the ingredient list on this is real simple. I mean, it's flour, water, yeast, and salt. That's it. And a lot of olive oil. But the olive oil doesn't go in the bread. It's like literally all over the place in terms of what we're going to be using. So
it surrounds the bread.
Yeah. So I'm going to turn on the oven light so I can keep track of what's going on in there. The other thing is you could make straight up focaccia bread and dust it with like crystal salt, like really nice diamond salt. And that's all you need. But the one we have baking is a garlic and rosemary one. And then we'll sprinkle it with, I have these awesome salts kind of mixes that I got at Jacobson Salt Company when we actually visited the place. So this one is rosemary salt. Since that one's rosemary, we're going to put that on there. And then the other one we're going to make is garlic, shallots, and thyme. And so I'm going to put, this is black garlic salt, which black garlic is just a fermented garlic. And so.
Oh, I'm interested in tasting those without.
Okay. So I would go out and get this book. It's really great, especially if you're a baker. It's got sweet, it's got savory, it's all kinds of stuff. So I'm pretty excited about it. The biggest thing that you want to remember is you want to use bread flour. It's got a higher protein count, which means higher gluten count, and you're going to have just get better gluten formation. So, as I said last week, if you were watching, we're shifting, not just doing side dishes, but we're also going to be doing, appetizers and maybe sauces and dips and things like that. We don't do a traditional Christmas, so we do appetizers for Christmas. So leading up to that, we'll probably do a few of those. A lot of times these appetizers just kind of mix together. So we might do two at once and kind of and show you some. But there are some that are a little bit more involved, like lots of chopping and things like that. So yes.
Since there's three of us in our family.
Yeah.
And and Denise makes 4. So I usually only make like half recipes of the appetizers.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean by like they lead into the next one or something?
Oh, I just mean that
This year it's really only going to be us. So
yeah, so it's like nobody, in the future, like in the past, we've had people stop by, but really we're probably not going to do that this year. Low key in terms of Christmas. I got this light. Maybe this will help if I turn the light back towards me.
And I'm totally not making raw beef and onions, Ted, but thanks for
Yeah.
the offer.
Yeah, raw beef and onion sounds terrible. Unless it's carpaccio, which is then that's not too bad. So we'll get to going. So what I've got going is you're going to prove I got instant yeast, or not instant yeast. I've got active dry yeast, which is one packet, 2 1/4 teaspoons, or if you're a grams person, 7 grams. You're going to have 6 cups of bread flour, or 24 ounces, or 780 grams. And then the recipe says 2 tablespoons of diamond crystal kosher salt. All I have is regular kosher salt. So I looked it up, and because the crystal kosher salt is less dense in a measuring, it's two crystal to 1 regular kosher. So I'm only using one tablespoon.
Okay, let me think about that. So the crystal is bigger, so you use more of it because it doesn't take up as much.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
We're gonna have 2. It's gonna be a half cup. A half cup of extra virgin olive oil. Because it's one of the main ingredients, I recommend getting good stuff.
Get the good stuff.
You should. This is one of the things where you're going to taste the olive oil really as you make it, so it matters that you're going to have one extra virgin. The thing that I want to do, and then flaky salt for sprinkling on top. That's
okay,
it.
speaking of, those are both very good. I don't know that they taste any different from each other, but
well, their main ingredient is salt. I think the other is just kind of going. Obviously, this is poofing out, but we'll go over. There's some instructions that we'll go over. So what this is raising up. So we got this. It's not like
okay. So this
foaming.
Is like step 1.
Yeah, get this going. It takes about 10 minutes to do, and you want to have it going. The other thing is,
Should we look at it?
It's not where I would want it to be, but it's going to be fine because this is exactly how it was on the first batch that I put in the oven.
You put some sugar in there, though. Did you talk about that?
Yeah, I did put 1 teaspoon of sugar, and that just gives something for the yeast to eat. Okay, so I've got my handy dandy scale, and I'm going by weight here, so because I'm fancy. Now,
I feel like the science people in the audience would not appreciate you putting that scale on a cutting board on the counter.
it's as long as it's not precariously perched on something.
I don't know. Anybody have something to say about that?
Yeah. I'm gonna fill this up to about 2.5 cups, but I'm gonna measure it out. And I want to know.
Left your thermometer over there.
I know.
Oops, sorry. I didn't check it. Jeez, rookie move.
Yeah. So I've got an instant read thermometer. You want to go between 90 and 105 topping out. This is at 95. That's perfectly fine. And so I'm just adding this to this.
Why does it have to be warm like that?
Because it's good for the
yeast.
Yeah. 567 grams of water. Very specific. Or 2.5 cups.
Which is less specific.
Yes. But since I am measuring everything by grams, or not by grams, but by, I added a little too much. I took too much out. Accuracy, folks. Okay, it makes a difference.
That is not the name of our game.
In this game, in baking, we are trying to be as accurate as possible. This is a high hydration dough. If you've ever made focaccia at home or seen it being made, it's kind of like, I don't know, what would you? It's really wet. It's like 85. It's like 85% hydration. Wet. So I'm going to add 780 grams of bread flour, and I've got a bucket. That's how I've been doing flour now. I actually did this one in addition to all-purpose. That's how much flour I'm using these days.
So what's the difference between bread flour and all-purpose flour?
Higher protein count. which makes gluten formation easier.
In your bread.
Which is what we want.
Which makes bread chewy and yummy.
Yes. 780, that's 620, 700. Oh, man. This is probably super exciting watching me pour flour into here.
Well, especially since your numbers don't make any sense.
Well, it makes sense to the recipe, as we talked about before.
No, you said 780 and then you said 620. I think you meant to say 580.
No. What I'm saying is, as it was going up, I'm measuring. I'm telling him where I'm at as I'm.
Oh. Does that make sense to you?
I don't know. Is it 1 tablespoon of like I said, this is just Morton's kosher salt. So now, yes, I did weight versus measurement. It doesn't matter in this case because it's 17 grams for 2 of the Diamond Crystal Kosher salt. But so if I did math, it's fine. I added it up. It looks fine. It's gonna work. It's gonna work. It's gonna be fun. Okay, so I've got the KitchenAid. This is probably look. You're gonna need a mixer for this. If you try to do this by hand, you're gonna just end up with dough all over you, and you're gonna be crying, and nobody wants to see
No
that.
crying, Vicky. Because how long does it have to go?
Oh, it's long. We got to mix it together for 5 minutes, and then we got to let it rest for 10 minutes, and then we have to let it go another 15 minutes.
Yeah,
And the reason is because it's got to form the gluten, and it's got to pull away. So it's got to have a good gluten network, or basically you're working with snot, and nobody wants that.
Yeah. Because
it's not great.
I think it's a non-Newtonian fluid.
Maybe. I don't know. So
it acted like one. So John wants to know why you didn't just weigh the salt and then not worry about the type. It's a good question.
It's a good question, but it says 17 grams, which it's 17 grams of a very specific salt. Again, if I use 17 grams of that,
it would be too much.
I think it might be too much because it's saying use half of what the recipe is listed. So it would be 8.5 grams. And I don't think I need a scale. Honestly, I need a scale that does 0.000 grams because I never see it. Just goes
17 grams is 17 grams.
2 tablespoons, whatever. It doesn't matter. Okay. I'm going low on this because all I really want it to do is come together. And then what I'm doing here is I've got a wet towel, just a wet dish towel. When it's done, we're going to cover it and let it sit for 10 minutes. While we're doing
you're
that,
not taking it out of that. You're just going to cover it, or you are.
No, I'm not taking it out of it.
You're just covering the whole machine.
Yeah.
Okay. 5 minutes right now?
5 minutes right now.
Okay.
So I'm just making sure that the one that's going to, you can see how the sausage is made, except for it not being trapped. So.
Jeez, I'm still at the university here. Sorry. What's that, Doug?
It's oiled plastic because I need this to sit. All right.
That's a sneak peek, though.
Yeah, sneak peek. Don't worry. Okay. Let's take care of mixing our oil and our ingredients, like the shallot. Yeah. So I'm actually going to use this because I don't want to.
Huge.
It is, but
I have a question.
Who has a question?
I do.
Okay, what is your question?
So, Focaccia, you never mix things into it. You only put stuff onto it.
That's what the recipes I've seen and what.
That's all I've ever seen. But does it make it something else if you put stuff into it?
I don't think so. I mean, I'm sure you could do it. I'm just not going to. So I'm going fairly thin. Fairly thin because I want it to be able, and I'm going to break these up before we add it into the bowl here. So I've got a timer going. We've got, I an interesting couple of things going on, but I'm going to show you. This is going to be one of those things that you're going to have to piece together like a puzzle, because because the way timing is on this recipe, it takes less time to cook this than it does to put it together. And
that's always with bread, isn't it? Because it's got to rise.
yeah, but even like the white loaf that I make or the sourdough, it takes 45 minutes to an hour to cook.
Oh.
Yeah. This is only going to take 25 minutes and then an additional 5 minutes. And I'm watching it, right? Be present. Look at what it looks like. If your 25 minutes isn't where you want it to be, just wait longer. If you want, you want to go a little bit shorter, or it's starting to go too dark or whatever. Because what we want here is we want crispiness, and we want crispy on the top and the bottom, but we want a pillowy soft inside. So this is going to have a lot of shallots on it, but I like shallots. So plus they'll caramelize. Ooh, that's really burning my eyes. All right.
So Teddy is saying that that's 30 minutes.
Oh.
And then he says he's a scientist. Ooh, it's making you cry?
Oh, it's very, very, very.
I didn't know shallots did. See, when they get big like that.
I don't know. Well, yeah, I guess that's part of it. All right. I'm going to see if I can drown that out by adding this is just a quarter cup of, again, really good extra virgin olive oil. I'm going to actually, just because you never get all of it out of there. So, no. And then I'm going to go 4 cloves of garlic. In the book, it has suggestions for toppings. So she has garlic, rosemary, charred cauliflower. What else you got? Tomato, garlic, and thyme. I'm substituting tomatoes because I don't have tomatoes. Purple potato. I don't know. That doesn't sound.
No, neither does the cauliflower.
Well, maybe, who knows? Maybe it's delicious. We don't know. Also, pro tip: do not put garlic in the refrigerator. For some reason, a clove of garlic went into the refrigerator, and because it was in there,
at our house?
Yes.
Oh.
And it rehydrated a little bit, so the cloves were soft and gross. They were not good. I'm sure maybe they would be okay, but I don't know.
I wonder why that happened.
Why did it get put in there?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it was with stuff and we didn't notice it, or we weren't thinking about it or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, it's crazy. So also, hey, I don't know if you guys know this about me, but it's December, which means it's my birthday month. Next Saturday is December 12th. It is one day prior to my birthday. So we will have something special for a birthday bonanza.
We're just going to open all the gifts that you guys sent.
Yeah, so you have 1 week to get them ordered and get them here. And if you want my address, I can send it to you. Or Amy can, we can post it out there.
We're not putting it on there. Are you kidding me?
Nobody's going to see it. What are they going to do? Send me a gift? Fantastic.
Stalk me.
They're going to get into the gate?
Stalk them.
No, they're not going to get into the gate. So,
That's not happening.
if you want, anyways, I will be 43 years young this year.
You're level 43?
43, 1977 to 2020.
Nice.
Oh, speaking of 2020, has anybody seen, I'm sure you probably have seen it by now, but the Satan 2020 Match.com commercials that are out there, they're pretty great. And whoever, I don't know what.
Brian Reynolds' idea.
Yeah, I don't know what the budget for that commercial was, but that's some pro level.
That Satan looks like a Satan from something else.
From Legend. He looks like the devil from Legend with Tom Cruise from the fantasy movie from the 80s. So I'm going. Yeah, this can go off now. It's really mixed, and now I don't have the screen. Again, all I'm doing is just covering this. I just want the moisture to not go away. So, oh man, it smells like garlic in here right now.
Yeah, it smells so good.
So, is we Was that a word? What is?
I don't know.
I think I just might have had a stroke on camera.
So let's hope not.
Anybody else smell burnt toast? Also, it's going to be, Christmas time, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, Shalom to all my Jewish viewers out there. I don't know. Is everybody taking it easy this Christmas? Like, are they like on the gift wise and things like that? Or is it just like a normal, like, hey, we can get everything through Amazon, so it's moving forward?
According to CNN, people are buying like crazy.
Well, well, that seems really loud now, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Ooh, that bread is like getting brown and toasty and delicious in the oven.
Yeah, it's going to be real good. Wait till it's got like 5 more minutes. So there's a secret, which I'll show you. Again, that's why it's going to be like a choose your own adventure. You just have to kind of get to the top. All right, so I'm adding that in there. And then I'm taking some
John says that Amazon is the Devon.
What's the Devon?
I don't know.
Who's
Devil.
Oh, you got something against Devon, man? What's Devon ever done
Or
to you?
Amazon?
Yeah, I know that you get Amazon things to your house, John. I've seen that. All right, so I got fresh thyme here from my thyme plant.
Not from your garden, from your indoor
barrel.
So, like, we had a greenhouse in our previous house. For how long did you have it, Dick?
Only 8 months.
But you'd had previous greenhouses.
Sure.
But, like the real structure, like
8 months.
Like George Washington greenhouse.
Sure. I finished it in December of 2018, and then in June of 2019, I had to leave it behind.
But you've not let that stop you, because you have a million plants in the garage.
Yeah.
And lots of the patio plants are in the garage now, and they're doing better in the garage than they did on the patio.
It's true.
But you said that's because more frequent watering.
Yeah. And, not blowing around and so they keep moisture a lot more.
John says he misses that greenhouse.
Yeah, me too. Don't miss it more than I do, John. No,
John helped build it.
I am going to, I'm starting compost and stuff, so.
Yeah.
Amy doesn't believe that it'll look nice. She thinks I'll put a garbage heap out there, so. No, that's what you believe. It's fine. But, it's not really encouraging to your skill set, but it's fine.
I think you're going to do great.
But all I'm doing is I'm adding, I don't know, like, how much does this say I should add? It's probably good to at least have an idea. Reading is hard, folks. Stay in school. Oh, leaves from 3 fresh sprigs. So that's probably what that is.
I feel like, those are
they were kind of babies.
Yeah.
All right, so then I'm going to just take a spoon and I'm going to just mix it up and get it in here. Now, I actually, because I've gone ahead and added, I'm going to just add more of this because it's just a vessel.
I'm going to add more of this.
We're infusing.
Is that happening off camera, or is that going to happen on camera?
No, that's going to happen on camera. We can, like I said, here's what you get. It's like an assignment from me to you. You get to piece the filming of this together in your mind. And you can be like, oh, that's nice. So, I hate these things. I'm throwing them away.
Those?
Yeah, I hate them.
I just bought those.
Yeah, they're terrible. I can't get my hands on them. Anyways. Okay, so.
I can't help it if you want to eat hooks for hands.
This is what it looks like now. But I've got.
Whoa, that's too high.
It's too high, but it's fine. It says to put it on the highest, but maybe it's because it got there. Now, I'm going to push the limits of this brownness. Now, the heat in the oven is at the top. So it's going to help crisp that up even more, and we're going to have a really delicious top. All right.
I saw a bubble light in the middle of that I call that.
You call that piece?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is very similar to a lot of your whatever bread that you're normally working. The only thing you have to remember is that you're working with a high hydration. That's why we want to have a really nice long, a really nice bread flour, because it's just going to help, because you need that gluten. And you're going to see as this starts going, we won't be able to like look at it, but I will show you at the end. So basically what it's going to do is, if you've got a high hydration bread, it's sticking to everything. When I try and touch it, it's just going to be all over my hands. But that's not what it's going to be when we get to the point where we're adding it to the bowl. Because what we're doing in the bowl is we're just letting it rise. And we're moving it around, and then we're going to move it out of there. So it's not like I'm doing a ton of like damage to it. You're going to see. What I've done though is I've got a bowl here. I'm actually just going to add more olive oil, about a quarter cup to it. It's got some in there, but a lot of it was taken care of. And the reason I'm doing that is that's what it's going to sit in and rise in. Isn't that crazy? There's a lot. It seems like a lot, right? But it's like one of the main ingredients, so we probably should give it what it wants.
So like in that, never mind. I'm going to say that later.
Okay. I told you, I said, choose your own adventure. They've got to, they got to piece it together.
I know, yeah. But I'm not able to. Probably just made them all car sick because I was trying to follow you with the camera and you were like jutting back and forth.
I need water. A little water. But we have now, well, it's a point of contention, but part of Washoe County school districts are finishing up the fall break or fall semester into break from home, but elementary schools are not. And then the college that I work at, UNR, is also now no students on campus. So it's like mostly distance first. So I'm continuing to work from home. It's probably like that for a lot of places as stuff is rising. So I just saw that though the CDC said that they from 14 days to 10, and then it just to
maybe 7 to 10.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's just when you're quarantining, when you may have been exposed.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
It's 15 minutes time here.
Oh yeah. So now 15 minutes. How long did it rest?
10 minutes.
And now 15.
Yep. And you're gonna say to yourself,
oh, are you watching that?
Yeah, I'm watching. Oh, don't you worry. It's gonna be good.
I called that bubble.
It's gonna be good because it has to rest for like 5 or 10 minutes. You should rest all of your bread when it comes out, because it's got to cool down. There's steam in there. If you've ever left a hot bread in like a pan, you should get it out of this pan and put it on a rack so that, not, Amy made banana bread the other day that did not get all the way cooked in the middle. And so I had to cut out like a U from the middle of it, because two of them were like this, like fell, and one of them looked fine, but the other one was like, brrr.
Yeah, the one that looked fine is the one I tested with the toothpick, and then I made an assumption that they were all good to go, and never assumed.
No, because you end up not looking good. So this is super, it's like it will eventually, you will start hearing. I have noticed that it happens around the 6 to 5, with 5 or 6 minutes left. It's when it really starts coming together.
Yeah, and it makes a funny sound.
Yeah, Amy said it was like fat people in the pool, and
I'm a fat person, so I can say that.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but so I will just say, like,
okay, so what's in there?
It's
olive oil, salad,
and garlic and thyme, and so that's really gonna come nicely. It's gonna play well. You're gonna caramelize those shallots as it's cooking, which is gonna be really nice. And but I love focaccia bread, and I thought about doing it tonight because there is some dead space in here, but I could riff in dead space, and you guys like to hear me dance, but Amy doesn't like it, but I love olive tapenade. Olive tapenade and focaccia bread to me is like, oh, so good. So what you could do is take green olives and cut them up and make tapenade, and then with garlic and stuff like that, and throw that on top as well if you really wanted. That would be another way to do this. You could top it with pretty much anything you wanted to, I think, at this point. So, all right.
I do like that one of those green olives that you get in the Italian that are like in
This is like
warm oil with lemon, so like green and delicious.
Oh, yeah.
They're hard to find.
All right. So I gotta say, it's definitely hot, which is good.
And it looks crispy on the top.
It does.
Like really firm. So it is essentially like a little bit fried in the oil.
Exactly. Now, pro tip, if you watched Claire's video, I'm going to transfer it to this as well. If you have a fish spatula or something that's thin like this, once it cools all the way, you're going to use that to get it out of here. And then we'll cut it with scissors because it's easy to cut.
But you said previously that you should remove bread from its container.
Yeah, I lied about that in some cases. This is this is fried on the bottom, but like I get it off and get it onto a rack. This says stuff like let it cool for 5 minutes on the pan.
Should it be on a rack?
No.
So there's some air, but you're putting it on there, so there's some.
Oh no, that's fine. Yeah.
But it's not a necessary.
Not a necessary thing, right? All right, let's. I'm gonna watch me look at this. We're very, very excited. Okay, still doing its thing.
Okay, so John says you're really stretching the gluten.
I sure am. So I'm going to show you. What that's going to do is we'll again. It's kind of like we're working backwards. So maybe just play this from the back. Play it in reverse. And I'm like, hey, money, I should just try this.
Yeah, you do that really well.
Yeah.
Wow, you are so fast.
Yeah.
Does anybody notice that watermelon, I think, has been there in every single episode? Yep, that's the same watermelon book.
Okay, so that's what we're looking for. That's after an hour rise. That will turn into this. But we need to do some things.
Now, I have a question.
Yes.
You did put olive oil in that bowl before you put that in there, yes?
Yeah, I already did that for the other one.
Okay, so that's why there's like a little olive oil green there.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
it's not that it's into there, yeah?
Well, that's the
a
hook.
different kind of pan. Do you think that's
It's a half sheet pan, as long as it.
But that other one's insulated and this one isn't. Is that going to make a difference?
That's not insulated. That's just aluminum. This is aluminum. It's just a different shape. Yeah, it's fine.
I know it's fine. I just think that's a different thing. I mean, I think it's insulated. It's not.
No. It's just thicker. It's not insulated, though.
Okay.
All right. So what we're doing is, again, kind of jumping the gun here, but we need another half or a quarter cup of oil. And you're going to prepare your pan. Can they see what I'm doing?
Oh, yep. They totally can.
Okay. You're just going to pour that straight onto the pan here. And you're going to use your fingertips you need to get it covered. The whole thing needs to be covered. If not, you're going to have a real bad time at the end here. I had it covered, and I still don't believe maybe it's going to come out. But that's also me being a pessimist. So we'll see. So I've been swinging oil all over the floor today.
Yeah, be careful, guys. Do you have on tennis shoes?
I sure do. So that thing already has a lot.
It's double the size, yes?
Oh yeah, for sure. You got about 9 minutes, and this is already, I can tell you, it's starting to, the sticking to the sides is dropping, and pretty soon, like I said, it's going to be like crazy. So I really should. Okay, I shouldn't have washed my hands because this is like I'm like oil man today. So there's enough on it, but you're going to see why you want to do this because my hands are going to be so soft. Okay, so I'm taking this, and I'm coming in, and it's like.
See, this is why I say it's like it's weird.
So I need to get it off of there. Come on. And it's going to go underneath itself. And then I'm going to turn it 90 degrees. And I'm going to do it again. Let it go.
Now it's like not fruity.
Yeah. Because of the gluten stretched and they've been taxed a little bit. And now I'm going to pop a big bubble there. And then I'm going to, oops, I didn't turn it. Oh, yeah. Okay. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to go like this. And this is the last thing. Now you can see how it's kind of open there. It doesn't matter. Because
I'm confused. Why did the first one be so stretchy and the second one not?
Because the gluten was so relaxed. So it had more stretch. When I stretched it, the gluten became more, it became like, it does like this. And so, okay. I am going to, so, Focaccia has a very distinct top. It has these dimples. And so what I'm doing is I'm stretching this out. And I want it, eventually, it's going to get, all the way over. But don't force it on the first time. You can try and do that. And, but again, don't force it because the gluten, again, needs time to rest. Once it rests, it'll be more elastic and allow you to push it into the corners. And you'll see on this one that we're going to open up first that we took out of the oven, it doesn't matter, like if it didn't go all the way into the corners. Like it'll fill in when it rises most of the way. So
you got about an inch on either end?
Yeah, and it's not in the corners. And so that's what I'm going to work on once I let it rest. So you want to let this rest for about 5 to 10 minutes, or no, I'm sorry, 10 to 15 minutes. 5 to 15 minutes, let's call it that. I want to be able to.
Why so loose? Why, you're just looking for how much it is.
If after 5 minutes, try and see if you can move it some more. Wait another 5 minutes, do that. So I'm going to turn this up actually because I'm not seeing it come together as much. We do have 5 minutes, and I'm betting that it's going to come together more. All right. So what we got there, like we did earlier, we've covered we got it into the corners as much as we could, and then we covered it with this plastic wrap that I oiled with olive oil on the top, and that will prevent it from sticking. And now it's been, what time is it?
7:40.
So it's been about 40 minutes. It says about 45 to 55 minutes. Just make sure what it looks like. It's going to rise up pretty well. So by the time
we have a few more minutes.
We have a few more minutes. That's going to all come together. Again, the end we already have. I'm just showing you the different steps to get to that.
Are you going to make a different topper for the third one?
I don't know. Yeah. Don't worry, everybody. There's 4 loaves of focaccia bread.
John's local when he's requested.
Oh, well, John, maybe you have to come over and help with my compost bin.
That's so funny because he said he would. That will be his tray.
Yeah.
He's great minds think alike.
So, actually, I have everything. I have all the materials. I just need to go get some cedar fence boards to skin the outside of the pallets that I got. But they're all really nice pallets that I got from the Rainbow Mart.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they're just sitting out there. And
Rainbow Market and Doug.
Yeah, we're best friends now. So, I was going to tell you, Pizza Barn's gone. Yeah, it's closed. So the Pizza Barn here in Pizza Baron, I'm sorry, in Sparks was just right around the corner, and they had the best ranch. So I need to figure out how to make the best ranch again. I don't know what it is, but it's even better than like the packet dip ranch. And Denise makes really good packet dip ranch.
It was like but you know, she put something in there and she's not telling.
She never tells us the full story. You gotta guess.
That's the secret to a great cook. They never give you like the magic ingredients.
Okay.
I think we should make a different topper for the third one.
I'm going to.
Okay.
But I'm gonna let this thing is really not coming together.
It's not coming together?
I don't know why. I don't know what's different about this one than the first one. I did 3 of these that were perfectly fine. 3 out of 4, that's not a bad average. 75%? I mean, I'll take a solid C every day. No, I think it's just, I don't know. Maybe there was more liquid. Maybe it was, all of the stuff that we had in there. I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Just let it keep going.
We're going to let it go. So, while that's doing that, that's going to be cool. I can already, so the other thing too is you can see how the top, while it's still crispy, it's pillowy. It's going to be pillowy. It's going to be so good. I can't even wait. So I don't know about you, but focaccia bread for me always seemed really daunting. Like it seemed like a thing that you couldn't do at home. And the reason I say that is
it's
because,
built that way, right? Like it's a special.
Yeah, and
not a loaf
and it's like you need to have. You could do this. I know people who do this, not this particular recipe, who have made focaccia bread in a cast iron skillet. So you get the roundness of it, and it's supposed to be like really, 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 really good. But I'm gonna move this over to here, and then there's gonna be just so much bread, so much bread.
Are you doing something with that? You're not making the other. Okay.
I'm not gonna make the other topping yet.
Okay.
Because I have this.
Scoot the flour out of the way. Okay, I'm gonna try to. Sorry. Okay, don't do anything interesting. Okay, we're ready.
All I'm really doing is separating this from where you can hear.
Is it sticking?
Hold on. It's not. It's gonna be fun. But you hear that crunch on the side? Oh, that's what we're looking for, folks. And it's just because it came up the side and, but it's like anything.
Did you oil this end?
I sure did. I oiled everywhere. But it says in the recipe. Oh, I needed that. Speaking of which, I didn't say this, but the oven is on 450. Very hot. So.
Is that why it cooks so fast?
Probably. I think it's because you've got so much oil that, like you said, it's kind of frying it in there. And okay. I thought I like this corner.
To start?
Yeah, because it was. Okay. So this is an adventure right now of trying to get this out of here. Because
I really thought it was just like flipped because it fried and it was so oily. Why isn't it?
I know. We'll see. I can tell you already it's nice and soft, which is great.
Did Claire flip out?
No. She worked it.
Okay, so this is normal.
Yeah, this is okay. That's enough. We'll get it out. But what I want to show you is
why
because
scissors?
Because apparently
Where's my bubble?
you're not going to get the bubble yet. But that is what we're talking about.
Look at that. Look at the bottom. Oh my God, so good.
So
I'm very excited.
oh my God, it smells so good.
Look at how. Okay, put that up here, closer to the camera, so we can see how delicious that is.
So look at the brown, and it's got nice top here on
And,
that,
like, squish it
crispy,
like this.
and it's nice and squishy.
Spongy.
Yeah. Why don't you try
Is
that?
this mine?
Yeah, yeah. It's not that hot.
It tastes terrible.
No, really, how does it taste?
It's delicious.
So, what do you guys normally, if you are, when do you get focaccia? When it's like what is it's an Italian restaurant, normally, I would imagine. What's the matter?
Nothing.
Oh, you seemed like you were.
Oh no, I'm just looking at the bubbles,
Hmm.
the structure of it. There's some big, some small.
Yeah. That does not suck.
No, it doesn't.
Butter or even like a olive oil and balsamic vinegar dipping.
Oh, I don't think it needs.
You don't need
that.
it. You don't need it.
You could gild the lily with that.
Mm-hmm. The other part is that the topper is good. It's not like overly rosemary or overly garlic, I think.
You didn't put the salt on.
Oh, crap.
No, that's salt. Yeah.
Shit.
Here's my piece. Okay.
I knew something was missing.
We forgot.
Live
Let's
TV.
talk and then we forgot.
Yeah. All right. Really stuck in there.
Yeah, that's gonna put it. It reminded me because you said butter. I thought, yeah, but salt will make it buttery tasting.
Yeah, and it does that. So.
Oh yeah, that's good.
It seems like a lot, but
It's really fine salt.
yeah, it's not that much. All right, let me get a little bit for mine and double taste here.
Yeah, that really puts it up at the top.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, really good.
A little bit of a disjointed episode in terms of timing, but in the end we got to it. But we're not done yet. The reason why is because this one is ready to go. And I want to show you this part. Oh,
Bring it over here so we can see it.
Yeah.
Track you.
so I want to save this because this took me a long time to make. So come from this side.
The saran wrap thing?
Yeah.
It did. I encouraged Doug to say that because it is not an easy thing to make.
Whoop. Okay. So as you can see on this one.
That olive oil thing out of the way.
Damn it.
Thank you.
Always in the way. Something's always in the way here, folks. All right. So this is what we're looking for. But now we're going to turn it up. So I'm going to just start spreading out. This happened last time too, so don't worry. There's a lot.
I feel like it would just be easier for you to pick it up with your fingers.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay. But I'm trying to get the oil on there too.
Well, you could dribble it on after.
That's a true point. That is a true point. Okay. So
And that way you'll get more even topping of the
Yum, yum.
shallots. Yeah.
So this is all that you do. You just it's like, go crazy with it. Make it look nice. Get it to a point where you have enough. And then I'm just going to do all of it because I like it. And
God, this camera really doesn't do it justice.
it really doesn't, but I don't have money for a new camera yet. So.
Well, what happened to the GoPro? Why isn't it working?
Well, because it's not designed for what we're trying to do with it.
Gotcha. Okay, well, it looks really good.
So.
What are the dark green bits?
Does a time. So I'm just now going to take the rest of this, spoon it over, get the rest of that thyme. Yeah. You guys are you're missing out. You're missing out, everybody. You got to bribe me to get some. But all right. So I did not make all that goodness for it to just sit there. So some pro tips: make your toppers, like a day ahead. Put them just keep them on the counter though. Do not put them in the refrigerator.
Let them melt.
Let them melt. The other thing, so this is the other thing that we're doing here is, like I said, we are moving it to the oven, 450, and we're putting it on the very bottom rack here. And then we're going to let this go again for 25 minutes. At the end, like you saw, at the end of those 25 minutes, you're going to move it to the top rack and 5 minutes more. Let it come out. After 5 minutes, it's going to be nice and crispy. Put it off to the side, let it sit for 5 minutes, and then.
So you've been making essentially 4 of these at once, but
Yeah.
you would have plenty of time to make your main dish
Oh,
in
yeah.
between.
Oh, yeah.
Making this.
Yeah.
Oh, can we see, is it stuck to the pan?
I mean, sort of.
I mean, how bad's the cleanup? Because, I am going to do the dishes.
It's not terrible.
Can you just tip it up so we can see?
I mean.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's not terrible. Oh, man. That piece was real good. Super nice and olive oily. So.
Yeah, so you definitely do want good olive oil because you're going to taste it.
Where's my big guy?
What big guy?
A big spatula. I got a long spatula that would really work well for this. My flipper.
Oh, is he right behind?
He's supposed to be over there, but it's fine. So.
Olga doesn't know where she does her best.
Flip it over and then come in it from this side. I didn't get all the way over there, so. Oh yeah.
Okay, what main dishes would you pair with this? I say surf and turf,
Spaghetti.
Italian food.
Yeah, any Italian
spaghetti.
food. I mean, a good lasagna with this for dipping or.
But surf and turf too, like
Yeah.
steak and shrimp.
Yeah.
Pasha.
Bread, wherever. Do you like bread?
Big salad.
You like bread? Because this is, Here's the other thing with this. I think these would make great croutons in a few days. If you were left it out.
Oh,
Now,
so
the
good.
other thing about this is it's good up to 5 days. That's the best part about this.
It lasts for 5 days?
Yeah. I mean, it lasts for longer than you would think. And I don't know particularly why, but.
Probably because olive oil is shelf stable and
Awesome.
it acts as some kind of preservative.
You're going to have to get into this. I'm kind of going at
This
it
is
here.
good. This is the truth, right?
Yeah, I mean.
You're going to have to work at it.
Look, we did rice pilaf. If you see me at that, you can see me do this. So
That was a key issue. Oh my God, look at the bottom of that. Looks so good.
let's see if I can get it up without.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. It's almost as pretty as the top.
Really is. Oh man,
What happened? Made a mess. Oh, you lost some of your goodness.
the garlic. This was like a delicious garlic chip. So, what did we learn today? Focaccia bread, finicky, but you can do it. I'd never had made it before today.
Look in there. It's not right.
Well, no, I mean it needs to.
I think you can salvage that
I'm gonna let it go. We'll see what happens.
one. Okay, we'll turn it off for your tip on.
All right.
We'll try to salvage it.
I let it rest, and it sort of started pulling away. So that's good. Maybe we didn't let it rest for 10 minutes. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I might have rushed it.
Maybe we got excited.
It's, I said it before, but it is the holiday season, the time of giving. You don't have to give a gift or money. You can give your time. Anybody will take it if they need it. Local animal shelters, homeless shelters, anything like that.
I'd like to put a plug in for the Salvation Army Senior Tree.
Yeah, go out and find a tree that somebody's put up that's like for the senior tree or for kids in need. Look.
I think Salvation Army is doing a lot of their trees online too. So
yeah, you can look. I will say that like they want socks and a sweater and things like that. That's what the seniors want.
And electric blankets.
And the kids, they just want, they want toys, but anything fancy. They're not asking for Wii's or Wii's. What year is it, Doug? Switches or PlayStations. They're asking for like Legos and dolls and things like that.
Yeah.
It's really simple and it can go a long way. And it's minimal cost for us who are a little bit more well off than others. So take your time, find a worthy charity that you like, get behind. And if you don't have money to donate, go donate your time. That's the biggest thing. I think they'll really appreciate anything you can give them, especially your time. Plus, if you go to the animal shelter, like Humane Society or something like that, you might get to pet the kittens. So there's nothing wrong with that. Don't take any home though, if you don't need them.
Says the man with 6 pets.
Whatever. That's 2 households. So that's 3 and 3. Really, it was 4 and 2. 4 and 1, but 5 and 1, but it doesn't matter. I just want to say again, take the time to get out there and be kind and be loyal and do something nice for somebody. And it makes a lot of difference, especially at the time we live in, to just do something nice. And your act of kindness can go further than you even think. So choose kindness, and we love you all. We'll see you next week. And, don't forget that it's my birthday month. So if you see me, make sure you have a present. I love you all. See you next week.